bleak foreshadowing is uttered into the void.
We know so much more than we understand, but we know so little.
We see Dr. Doom in some sort of realm between worlds. It's not clear what he's doing or what his intentions are, but he is definitely up to something. Doom is not alone. Standing beside him are Stephen Strange and Molecule Man. Doom ruminates on the idea of life after death.
Many believe the white light you see when you die is the supercharged electric whimper of a desperate and dying brain. Synaptic death.
A bright light flashes and Doom and his companions flinch in the presence of its glare.
But it's not. That brilliant, blinding light is God, and he has been with us all along.
The radiant energy that fills the void responds.
We are beyond, dreamers, destroyers, all of reality. Our whim, who dares stand before us?
I, Doom.
We are presented with a brief prologue. The multiverse is dying. Only 2 universes remain. Today, Earths collide. The story then throws us straight into the action. An incursion event is imminent in Earth 1610's Manhattan, in the Ultimate Universe. In the Triskelion headquarters of Earth's S.H.I.E.L.D., Agent Nick Fury is on an urgent call with Reed Richards, otherwise known as the Maker. Fury wants to know how long they have left until the incursion is fully underway. The Maker responds from his own headquarters, the city, the home of the Cabal and the Children of Tomorrow. The Maker tells Fury that the incursion may begin within a matter of minutes and presents Fury with an ultimatum: destroy the other universe in order to protect their own. Although Fury does not trust the Maker, he knows that he's right, and he knows what he has to do in order to save his world from collapse. The Triskelion launches a full-scale attack, but the Maker's play to motivate Fury to attack was nothing more than a ruse. He has ulterior motives in store. Thanos questions the Maker's strategy.
I have to wonder, why lie to them? We've run every simulation there is. We've reached the death of everything. There is no saving anything, no victory to be had, no victory of any kind. So why lie to them?
We show them one hand and hide our real objective in the other. I lied to them because we just need a little more time. I dress the lie up in a story of hope, because if they have that, then they'll believe they have a chance. They'll fight a little harder. And won't that be fun for you and your Cabal to watch?
The stage has been set for the War of the Worlds. The Marvel Universe will face off against the Ultimate Universe. Who will prevail? The battleground is Manhattan, Earth 616, where the incursion event is in full swing. Civilians panic while their world crumbles around them. The Fantastic Four have prepared an escape vessel. They've prepared supplies for the forging of a new colony, a new world. They'll be taking a select group of Earth 616's top minds with them for the fostering of this new beginning. But time is of the essence. Black Widow is on her way to the Baxter Building in a courier ship carrying some of these brilliant minds who will be joining the escape mission. Black Panther is linking Manifold, aka Eden Fessy, to a machine that will enable him to find the surviving heroes needed for the resurrection mission. The device will concentrate his powers and allow him to teleport the necessary survivors onto the escape vessel. Fury's team from the Ultimate Universe have arrived. Tony Stark is leading the attack, and he's surprised by the level of resistance he's facing from Earth 616. The Guardians of the Galaxy focus their attack on Fury's fleet while Storm and Thor team up to launch their attack from the heavens. On the ground, Iron Fist and Luke Cage do everything in their power to rescue civilians. Captain America and Iceman look on as the Sentinels from Nation X join the fight. Hulk, Colossus, and She-Hulk locate the carrier that is launching all of Fury's warships. Colossus launches the Hulk towards the War Machine, and Hulk does what he does best, smashing through the War Machine. The superhuman trio use their immense strength to topple the structure, bringing an end to Fury's aerial threat. The Maker checks in with Fury.
General, how goes the war?
Oh, best war ever. We failed to secure the incursion site on the other Earth. So you're just going to have to launch your Doomsday world killer weapon and hope for the best. As much as I hate to admit it, we failed. Darkest moments of a dark life, and I swear I never once thought I'd go out like this. Make sure you finish the job, Maker.
Finish? implies that your task was uncompleted, General. It implies a failure of action or understanding of purpose. This was always how it was going to end. You bought us no little bit of time, and that was remarkable for whose time had long passed. Let me show you what I'll build on your ruins.
The heroes of Earth 616 watch in fear as the Maker's temporal bubble cracks open before their eyes. They can only wonder what awaits them behind its veil. They know it won't be good. The Maker has launched a second attack consisting of a fleet of warships and a Doomsday weapon with the goal of obliterating Earth 616. Black Widow's ship is nearing the Baxter building, but they're taking heavy fire.
Susan, I'm sorry. We're not going to make it. You're on your own.
Oh, no. No. They're gone, Reed. We've lost the resurrection team.
Realizing that they're officially out of time, Reed looks to T'Challa to activate their backup plan. T'Challa looks Eden in the eyes and activates the machine.
I'm sorry, Eden. It's option 2. Your powers through this machine will help us find the survivors that we need. Brace yourself. This is going to hurt.
Do it.
T'Challa activates the machine and an array of bright golden beams bursts out of Eden's body. On the battlefield, before Star-Lord can mourn the death of his beloved friend Rocket, he is consumed by one of Eden's golden beams and disappears. We see the same happen to Thor, Spider-Man, and Captain Marvel. Reed urges T'Challa that they must leave at once, or they will all die. He tells T'Challa to cut Eden loose from the machine so that they can escape.
He made me promise not to, Reed. He believes he can still make this work. He believes he can still find what we need. Are you sure you want to stay, Eden?
Yes! Go!
Reed wastes not a second longer and launches the escape vessel. On board the vessel, we see all the heroes that Eden was able to save from the battle with his teleportation beams. The ship is taking strain as Reed attempts to fly them through the incursion event. The entire vessel is rattling violently. As the vessel bursts through the incursion, the entire hull is ripped off, separating the survivors. Susan uses her force field to encapsulate the hull and keep them alive. Her kids and Ben are in the hull with her too. T'Challa temporarily drops the shield on their half of the ship under Reed's instruction so that he can reach out and pull his family to safety. Susan holds on with all her might to keep up the integrity of her force field, while Reed reaches out to pull them back into the ship. Before Reed can get to them, the incursion splinters, and Susan is sucked into the void along with Ben and her kids. Knowing that they are already lost, T'Challa reactivates the shield. The second chapter begins with a ceremonial rite of passage, as a young Thor prepares to test his worthiness in wielding the mighty hammer.
Do you see it, boy? This is a test, which is fitting, for God measures us all in some way. This day, here and now, the test is yours. Step forward and seek his favor.
Thor grabs the hammer with both hands and is immediately struck by lightning. Thor feels a surge of electricity coursing through his veins as he triumphantly lifts the hammer from its pedestal. Odin congratulates Thor and gives him a lecture on the responsibility that comes with wielding such a weapon.
You have been reborn, worthy. I am old, older than most. But before even my time, there is a legend that the heavens were full of stars, a sea of them, and little difference between the day and night. And now, there are so few. So where did they go? And why is there one fewer every year? Look in your hand. It was the All-Father who plucked the stars from the heavens, and from each forged our hammers. They all have different names. You will name yours. But they all serve the same purpose. Justice!
A hall of Thors, all wielding mighty hammers, chants justice in unison. Odin and the newly initiated Thor turn around and bend the knee to their aforementioned All-Father, the god whom they serve. Above them, we see the holy structure to which they bend the knee, a giant shrine of Dr. Doom's mask. The last remaining universes collided. The heroes of Earth 616 and Earth 1610 were powerless to stop it. The final incursion destroyed everything in existence, except God Emperor Doom. Meanwhile, in the kingdom of Utopolis, a search team has tracked down a peculiar reading that they are investigating. The reading has been labeled as an earthquake, But this team of researchers are well aware that this is a cover-up, nothing more than a ruse. They also seem to be somewhat aware of the secrets of their world, without getting into too much detail on its unnatural creation. The research team also joke about a previous cover-up mission they were involved in, where they had to neutralize a Hulk that broke loose on the mainland. They come across as a sort of deep-state special ops team, the guys you call when you need to keep something quiet, or make out like it never happened at all. The teams follow the signal until they come across a crashed ship from another world. Back in Doomguard, Odin sets off with his Thor in training on a first mission. They are headed to Bar Sinister to take a particular Baron into custody to answer for his alleged crimes. The Baron in question is Baron Sinister. Odin states the nature of their presence, and the Baron agrees to attend court with little resistance. Odin and Thor escort the Baron to Doomsday to stand trial. Doom awaits in the High Court, sitting on his throne, the World Tree, Yggdrasil. Alongside Doom is Stephen Strange, known in this world as Sheriff Agamotto. He'll be the one conducting this trial as Doom's right-hand man. The trial concerns a feud between Baron Sinister and the House Braddock of Higher Avalon. Baron Sinister denies any and all claims against him on the basis of a lack of evidence. He has also been accused of calling Baron Brian Braddock's pregnant wife a cow, but he does not deny that charge. It seems that Baron Sinister intends to stir tempers in the court. The court finds Baron Sinister guilty, but the Baron retorts with a trial by combat, as is his right according to God Emperor Doom's laws. Sinister is granted his trial by combat against the younger Braddock. The duel is to be conducted with stun sticks. Sinister makes the first move, but Braddock strikes swiftly, dislodging Sinister's head clean from his shoulders. He thinks he's won, but onlookers know better after all. They don't call him Baron Sinister for nothing. Sinister's headless body retaliates and makes light work of the young Braddock. But before he can deal the final blow, Doom intervenes. Doom reframes the trial and renders his own verdict. There have been whispers of a group of heretics forming in the kingdom of High Avalon. When questioned on the existence of these naysayers, the Baron has no response. Doom sees this as weakness and motions to condemn the entire kingdom, but he is stopped by Susan Storm, who gently persuades Doom to choose mercy. The older Braddock is punished, and the younger Braddock cautioned on keeping his kingdom in line. The trial is over. Susan's daughter Valeria tells her mother she needs to have a private word with the sheriff. Valeria alerts the sheriff to the discovery of the otherworldly spacecraft. The research team we met earlier in the story are in fact Valeria's agents. Valeria is concerned that the nature of this discovery will pose a threat to her father's position as God Emperor Doom, creator of the universe. The report that the research team delivered provides carbon-dated evidence that the spacecraft was created before the creation of Doom's universe, essentially nullifying Doom's claim to the universe. The sheriff looks deeply distressed. At the shield, Odin and young Thor escort the accused Baron to his punishment. The Baron stops in front of an armory box. He knows what lies ahead of him.
As good a place as any for a man to die.
The Baron opens the box and begins armoring up as if for battle. The Baron puts on his helmet and then leaps off the edge of the massive wall that encloses the kingdom. He slides down the wall and lands in a grave-like terrain. A malicious voice echoes through the shadows.
What's that I smell? Fresh meat, so sweet. Carve you up, pass you out.
The creature steps out from the shadows, revealing a zombified venom, followed by a whole horde of zombies. The Baron slashes at the first wave of zombies, sending their undead limbs soaring through the sky. Every wave of zombie attack becomes deadly. There are even Ultron AI zombies. The Baron's chances of survival are 0. Back at Castle Doom, the sheriff calls in Odin and tells him of the breach, and orders him to contain the area at all costs. Odin takes Thor with him on the quarantine mission. Suddenly, the ship's hatch opens. There is a moment of stillness as Thor and Odin inspect the ship's empty ramp.
Stay back!
What is it? What's in there? What do you see?
My god-doomed grave.
A spear flies through the air and impales Odin. Thor rushes to Odin's side to help him, but Odin orders him to flee.
Go now. Tell the sheriff that we found death here.
As Thor flees, another spear violently thrusts itself through Odin's face. Thanos and his warrior of the Cabal emerge from the shadows.
What is this place?
The Maker is with them too. He tries to figure out where exactly they are. Proxima Midnight brings Thanos, one of the members of the quarantine effort who was trying to escape. Thanos begins to interrogate him.
Tell me, creature, where are we?
This is Doom's world, which he made to test the faithful and the unforgiven, the firmament created with his own hands.
I want a name, you dithering, feeble worm.
This place, the Highborn call it Latverion. Believers call it God's kingdom. But everyone else, we common folk, call it something else. We call it Battle World.
Stephen Strange, aka the Sheriff, is reading his daily reports to God Emperor Doom. The reports consist of minor skirmishes in the kingdoms and illegal border crossings, as well as Bar Sinister's most recent, and almost immediate taunt of the Braddocks following the trials. Doom is not impressed.
Why do you bother with this, Stephen?
What do you mean?
You know full well what I mean. This banality. This tedious record-keeping of minor transgressions.
No more tedious than this disagreement we have had many, many times, my lord. You know full well why I do it. You are omnipotent, not omniscient. The danger to your throne, and this world, the last world, comes from what we do not know.
Yes, but this is a world like any other world of old, full of danger, and we will face such things as we have, together and in the order in which they present themselves. I remember all our disagreements, Stephen, and your reports concern me little.
You're in a damn tricky mood today, aren't you?
The troubles of gods are infinite and beyond man's understanding, but it wouldn't take a god to divine that this day the same is true for you. What's wrong, old friend?
Like everyone on this world, I know that you are God, but unlike them, I remember what was. I remember you and I making all of this, saving what we could, creating what we could not. And when we disagree, I remember that I could have been God and not you.
And I remember that you did not want it.
I still don't, but I do remember and know how precious what we have left is, so I guard it fiercely.
Which is why I am not concerned. I do not know everything, but I do know that you are out there, keeping what should be hidden secret, uncovering that which should be known.
Stephen sees his opportunity to bring up the news that has really been on his mind of the discovery of the spacecraft. But as he is about to break the news, he receives some foreboding news from Doomguard. His fears of the unknown becoming known may be coming to life. Stephen visits the site, where Odin's dead body still lies in the dirt. He orders the Thors to move as quickly as they can and lock down a perimeter in order to stop Thanos and his crew from making it to the mainland. He wants them alive. The Thors fly off on their mission. Stephen knows there is another presence lurking on board. He calls it out.
Let's go. Don't make me come in there.
Okay, you got me, but I come in peace, okay?
Spider-Man explains to Stephen that he has no idea what happened. The last thing he remembers is sneaking onto the bad guy's ship in order to figure out what they were doing. He explains that another world had appeared in the sky, and a giant dome cracked open. This catches Stephen's attention.
Wait, a world in the sky? Are you telling me you remember?
During a conversation with Susan Storm, God Emperor Doom reveals that he imprisoned her brother Johnny in the sky, turning him into the sun, after Johnny's attempted betrayal. While Doom spared Johnny's life out of love for Susan, the people have begun worshiping him through song, much to Susan's concern. Doom is feeling weary. He believes that he is a flawed god who fails to inspire his people. He wonders if he should have removed himself from the world after creating it, like the gods of old. He even comments that despite all his power, he cannot even heal his own face. Susan tries to console Victor.
Oh, Victor, I remember when we found each other. I remember me choosing you, not because of how you looked, but because of your mind and your heart, and then finding out what you had done to save us all. I know you better than anyone, and you couldn't be more wrong. You shouldn't remove yourself. You should meet the people in the streets. They understand your perceived power. Show them your real strength. Take off your mask, Victor.
So they can see this?
So they can see what I see, a God with great love for his people.
Later, on the hidden isle of Agamotto, Stephen Strange has brought Spider-Man and the young Thor to his secret lair. The young Thor does not know of this place.
Where are we?
My sanctum sanctorum, a safe haven from this world and its prying eyes, a place of remembrance of all that has been lost. God Doom has made a world of many wonders. I have seen mirrors of those I have known, lives lived differently or even stranger, the unrecognizably similar. For instance, much of what was a place called Wakanda can be found in the Upper Kingdom both in design and function. When I saw the vessel you found, I was not surprised, but to find that it held refugees from the time before, well, that requires full understanding.
Spider-Man notices that Strange has another ship in his possession. Strange instructs the young Thor to open the ship, and he obliges, revealing the surviving heroes of Earth 616. The Spider-Man in the dark suit rushes over to the other Spider-Man in the classic red suit.
Miles?
Yeah, no way.
How are you here?
For that matter, how are any of us here? Last thing I remember, the world was ending, and you're here, Dr. Strange? A man who disappeared months ago. What's going on, Stephen?
That depends on your answer to the question of worlds. Are you really my Captain Marvel? Or some other universe's version of the Carol I once knew? Better put, am I really who you think I am? Are you really you?
Well, you sound like an idiot, which seems familiar enough.
Even if that were true, are you really the ones who survived?
No, there are a few more of us.
We see Cyclops, now with the power of the Phoenix after retrieving the Phoenix Egg during the inclusion event. We also see Reed and T'Challa. Strange explains to the surviving heroes the complexity of their situation. They have been in stasis for 8 years. He tells them that after the incursion everything died, but God was able to make a new world, constructed out of remnants of the incursion points between collapsing worlds. He also tells them that no one remembers the worlds of before, only this one. Reed speaks up.
God, who is this God you're talking about?
Doom. It's Doom Reed. Victor saved us all.
T'Challa asks Strange how long ago he came across their raft, and he tells them that he's had it in his possession for 3 years. He didn't do anything until now because he needed to weigh up the consequences of what might be inside. Reed loses his temper.
Victor Von Doom is a god and rules over everything in this world, and yet you had to weigh that against other considerations. What in the world could matter so much that you left us here buried alive, Stephen? Explain it to me.
It's easy to explain, Reed. He is very good at playing God.
Later, somewhere in the kingdom of Utopolis, Thanos and his crew are sitting around a fire. They argue about how they should have done things differently back at the raft. The Maker says that they should have kept Odin alive for questioning. Thanos says it's irrelevant as the answers they need will come right to them. As he says this, an army of Thors comes swooping in. While the Cabal fights off the army of Thors, Strange attempts to explain how this world is different from the world that was, and even the multiverse that was. The universe was nothing but shattered remnants before Doom willed all those fragments into singularity. Strange argues that Doom's firm hand as the god of this world is necessary for its survival. Despite Strange's support for Doom's actions, the survivors of 616 will hear none of it. They think he's gone insane. Reed wants to know more. He needs to know how it all happened.
Worlds, universes crashing together. You believed that there was something behind it. Well, you were right. There was something behind it. Unfortunately, no one could stop the perfect annihilation plan that the Beyonders had put in motion. But we could stop them, so we did. We killed them and took their power for ourselves. I looked into the abyss that was omnipotence, and I ran from it. Doom did not. Then he saved all that there was left to save.
There is much disagreement in the room, but the quarrels are cut short as the young Thor's hammer begins to glow. Strange says that they are needed elsewhere. A Thor seeks an audience with Doom to report that the Cabal is devastating their army. Upon learning this, Valeria shows her father the battle unfolding. Doom dismisses their opponents as mere mortals, despite Susan noting that the Maker's force field can withstand Thor's hammer strikes. The situation escalates when Stephen arrives, and Susan is first to spot his companion, Reed Richards, prompting her to alert Victor.
I don't know what it is about this one, my love, but there's something different about him, something special.
The sight of Reed launches Doom into action and he departs to join the battle. Doom makes a godly entrance and calls out to Reed immediately.
Richards.
So it's true. It really is you. Isn't it, Victor?
Reed takes a shot at Victor for placing himself on the throne, but Victor snaps back saying that the throne has always belonged to him. Only now he's elevated himself to an even higher status. Thanos joins the squabble, taunting Doom in saying that he is too shy to even call himself a god. Thanos' comment proves to be just enough to push Victor to demonstrate his power. And so he does.
I am God.
Victor causes an explosive eruption from beneath their feet with a wave of his hand. Cyclops decided to take Victor on personally, believing that he has the power to outmatch the self-proclaimed god of Battleworld. Cyclops' attack appears to be working, as Doom's entire being begins to melt under the immense heat of the blast. But his victory is short-lived, as Doom recovers and snatches Cyclops' neck with a suffocating grasp. Victor breaks Cyclops' neck, and Strange uses his powers to send the other players far away from the battle to prevent further conflict, knowing that Doom is out for blood.
Where did you send them, Stephen?
I scattered them to the wind.
Why?
Because we both know what was about to happen. They would have refused to bow before you, and then you would have felt compelled to eliminate such behavior. With prejudice, I couldn't allow that.
You think that's an indulgence, but you know what they're going to try to do. They won't be able to help themselves. It's their nature. It's his.
Well, maybe it's mine as well. Those are people we really know, from the old world, and I have lived a lifetime with some of them. We did great things together.
And have you and I not done great things together, old friend?
Of course we have, but I won't have anything to do with this.
Call them back.
No!
You will not test me, Stephen.
I didn't even tell him what you've done, and I'm sure he's going to be hard at work solving the problem of you. How much harder do you think that Reed Richards is going to try when he finds out that you stole his entire life? Look at you. Even with all this power, you're still afraid of him. Well, you know what, old friend? I think you should be.
Doom has heard enough from his right-hand man, and with a wave of his fingers, he swipes the flesh clean off of Strange's face. All in Doomguard are in attendance at the royal funeral of Sheriff Agamotto. The sheriff is being honored and remembered as a true servant of the realm. The surviving Thor from Earth 616 blends in amongst the other Thors and whispers to the young Thor next to them.
What the hell is going on here? Shh, we'll speak later.
Susan Storm and her children are present too. Franklin is asked to lay a wreath around the memorial statue of Sheriff Agamotto. Franklin obliges and flies up to the head of the statue.
I'm sorry you died, Mr. Strange. I liked you a lot. When we find out who did this, I'm gonna mash them into little pieces.
It's clear that the others are unaware of the fact that Victor is to blame for Stephen's death. Night has fallen, and only Victor and his daughter remain at Strange's memorial. Valeria feels a degree of guilt herself. She believes that she bears some responsibility, as it was her team's discovery of the otherworldly ship that sparked the unfortunate chain of events culminating in Stephen's death. Valeria wants revenge and questions her father on why the people responsible are still alive. Victor orders his daughter to track down and find the passengers from the ship. She is confused as to how they escaped in the first place and continues to pry with questions. Doom loses his patience and orders his daughter to complete her mission without further questioning. Valeria obeys and sets off on her search. A glowing light draws Doom's attention to a stairway that leads below Stephen's memorial statue. He follows it. The peculiar character beneath the statue is Molecule Man, aka Owen Reese. Doom gives his accomplice the news.
Stephen Strange is dead.
Well now. Isn't that a surprise? Was it cancer? It's always cancer.
No, it was inner decay of a different sort. His doubt killed him.
Interesting. Surprising. Unexpected even. How is that possible? Because he knew. He was there. He saw it.
He was only there at the end, Mr. Reese, and even I was not there at the start. In the beginning, it was just you and them.
No, it was just them.
Reese goes on to explain how the all-powerful Beyonders created everything in the universe and multiverse. They created everything that existed. The Beyonders created Owen Reese, the Molecule Man, to be a universe-destroying bomb. They created one of him in every universe so that all of the Molecule Men could be used to destroy the multiverse if they so pleased. The only mistake the Beyonders made to their otherwise perfect plan was by making Molecule Man a human and giving him choice. For when the day came to destroy the multiverse, this particular Molecule Man chose otherwise. He chose Victor Von Doom, and together they devised a plan. Doom and Molecule Man raised an army of Black Swans to kill a selected number of Molecule Men in the multiverse to diminish the overall charge of his multiverse killing explosion. While the army of Black Swans were acting as interdimensional hitmen, Doom and Molecule Man created a better version of the Molecule Man bomb. They would use this bomb as a weapon to destroy the Beyonders. It was only at this point, right at the end, that Strange joined their cause. Together they stood up against the Beyonders. We are taken back to the very first images that opened up this epic saga. We find Doom, Strange, and Molecule Man floating in some kind of void, moments away from battle with the Beyonders.
We couldn't stop the Beyonders from destroying everything. But we could draw them out, destroy them, steal their power, and store it someplace safe, where it could be used to preserve some of what had been lost.
The Molecule Man will serve as a conduit, Stephen. Together we can save the remnants of worlds.
The scale of it, the scope. How do you choose what lives and dies? It's too much to fathom, Victor. It's too much. I can't.
You have to do it.
Doom tells Molecule Man that it was him who killed Strange. Molecule Man was already aware of this, claiming to have sensed Doom's shame from a distance. Molecule Man believes that Victor may have kick-started an unraveling of events that ultimately leads to their demise. Molecule Man knows that without Doom, this world will cease to exist, as he is the one holding it all together. Doom wonders what might happen if it is Molecule Man who dies next.
And what if it's you, Mr. Reese?
Well, won't that be exciting?
At the Department of Science, Valeria is tasking her team with their latest mission. Based on data recorded on the night of Strange's death, the research team has deduced that Strange was the one responsible for scattering the survivors from the ship. Valeria fears that something terrible is brewing.
We are going to take this all the way to the end of the line, no matter where it goes. I'll handle any noise from the throne. But for now, what we learn stays with us. Understand? I want to know what really happened. I want to know who these people are. I want to know where they disappeared to. I want to know what they're capable of. And more than anything else, we have to find out what they want. And why it scares God so badly.
At Castle Doom, Valeria presents her findings to her father. She tells her father that the news is not good. Doom's rule is growing increasingly unstable.
My world is in disarray, Valeria. Recent disorder has escalated into open rebellion in several kingdoms. In that chaos, my Thors grow weary, and ill wind portends even worse to come. Nevertheless, I would have the truth from you, daughter.
Valeria tells Doom that her research team has not been able to lock down the location of the remaining survivors. However, one of the barons stumbled across two of the survivors and beat them half to death. The Black Swan tells Doom that these two survivors are Corvus Glaive and Proxima Midnight, members of the Black Order and servants of the tyrant Thanos. Valeria was able to get into their minds with what little life they had left, but it wasn't enough to tell her where the others are or what they are doing. Back at the Foundation, Valeria's team continues to diligently search for the missing pieces in the puzzle. Valeria can't help but feel like she is being lied to somehow. She knows there's something missing from the story. Alex tells Valeria that they may have found the source of her father's power and shows her a collection of drones that they retrieved. No one knows where the drones come from, but based on the geographical positioning of where the drones were found, they can tell that they are being used to map the area. They're looking for something. At a secret location on Battleworld, the Maker and Reed Richards have formed an unlikely partnership to take on Doom. They are the ones behind the reconnaissance drones. The Maker believes that their only path of action should be to destroy Doom, but exploiting a weakness. Reed is hesitant and doesn't believe this to be the best plan. Reed is concerned with what might happen to everything else if Doom should be destroyed. Reed believes there is another way.
Our problem, as I see it, is determining how Victor came to possess such power.
And how are we going to do that?
Oh, a plan exists.
Meanwhile at Castle Doom, Peter and Miles are investigating some data captured on Reed's drones. The drones have traced a power signature to the base of Strange's statue. They move in for a closer look. They are not alone. Valeria has spotted them.
It could be buried underneath.
Actually, there's a trapdoor. I found it earlier. You're looking for the source too, aren't you?
Holy evil plans. The rumors are true. Is that really you, Val?
Am I supposed to know you?
It's me, Spider-Man Peter. How did you know we were looking for the thing?
Because I was too. I had my people working on finding the source, but I'm sorry, I don't know you.
Valeria snatches a device out of Peter's hand.
Obviously built by the same person who made the drones. Might as well have signed their name to it. This is embarrassing. Who built this?
Reed Richards.
Never heard of him. Doesn't matter. Tell him I said this is shoddy work and he should get his act together, okay?
Sure. So are you coming inside with us?
Valeria says she won't be going beneath the statue with them. She is upset by the fact that she's starting to realize that her supposed father, Victor, is not who he makes himself out to be. She questions Peter and Miles some more before they make their descent. She asks if they came here on a ship like the one her team found, and if any of them are responsible for Strange's death. Peter tells Valeria that they came from a similar life raft, and that none of them had anything to do with Strange's death. Spider-Man and Miles enter into the trapdoor and are consumed by the Molecule Man's radiant light. Peter knows the Molecule Man and notices him straight away. Miles has a hamburger in his pocket and he gives it to the hungry Molecule Man who devours it. Peter tells the Molecule Man that they're on a mission to locate the source of Doom's power. Molecule Man responds eerily.
Oh yes, you're looking at him.
We see Doom meeting with all of his barons over the pressing matter of an uprising in the kingdoms. An individual by the name of the Prophet has been building a rebellion and his army grows by the day. Doom says that he will not be sending his Thors to fight this battle, and that he would rather have the barons tend to this rebellion themselves. In Bar Sinister, we see that Captain Marvel sits in the company of Baron Sinister. She has just witnessed the meeting of the barons, and she beats Baron Sinister into submission until he suggests a plan that she likes.
Let's be naughty.
Now you're talking.
Black Panther and Namor have found the hidden Isle of Agamotto. It has been a treacherous journey to reach Strange's secret base of operations across the World Sea. Black Panther uses Strange's necklace as a key to open the doors. A projection of Strange himself greets his guests and provides them with a riddle that they must answer in order to prove their alliance with Strange. Black Panther passes the test. The projection provides Black Panther and Namor with two of Doctor Strange's most prized possessions. The first is a device called the Siege Courageous, which is a gateway of second chances. The second item, the real showstopper, is a fully equipped Infinity Gauntlet, the only weapon on the planet capable of smiting God. In the S.H.I.E.L.D. detention level, Thanos sits in prison consulting with a giant Ben Grimm. Ben tells Thanos that Doom required him to act as a sort of shield for the world, to keep the nightmares out. Because of Ben's sacrifice, the world gets to experience peace. Thanos tells Ben the truth.
I'm telling you that your God put you here to keep you out of the way, because he fears you, just as he feared the torch and cast him out as well. You see, I know a secret. I know who you really are, Ben Grimm. You are a warrior, a hero. And where I am from, you are the closest friend of Doom's greatest enemy. You have shamed him time and time over.
Thanos educates Ben on the constructed nature of Battleworld and tells him that Doom is at the center of it all. Ben breaks free from the confines of the detention center, displaying the magnitude of his size. He is as large as a mountain. The Prophet emerged from the Great Waste, appearing from nothing. A cause fully formed, an idea given shape. This Doom is no god. And if he is no god, why suffer under his hand? Why submit to his rule? The Prophet's words were fire. He spoke of liberty, and the people pulled down their idols. He shouted freedom, and the people raised up arms. He marched his army to Castle Doom, to cast out God himself. It was Providence providing the perfect man at the perfect time. But who is this great catalyst? Who is this Prophet? The Prophet removes his mask, revealing himself to be Maximus. The fighting begins in the shadow of Castle Doom. From the safety of the castle, Doom, Susan, the Swan, and Valeria watch as the battle unfolds. Swan offers to join the battle, but Doom commands her to step down. Susan tells her husband not to worry about the rebellion. She reminds him that free people will always find an excuse to fight, and that this uprising will fall like all of those before it. Valeria feels differently, and Doom shares his daughter's sentiments. He summons his army of Thors to join the battle and bring a swift end to the Prophet and his army. Back on the battlefield, the Prophet is unheroically consumed by a gang of goblins. Baron Sinister and Captain Marvel look on from the flanks.
The army of the Prophet is breaking. We don't have much time.
Well, don't tease me, sister. If you want to cause a riot, someone needs to give somebody sinister some kind of order.
All right, you've got it. Tell your clones we're switching sides.
The Goblin Queen watches as Baron Sinister's army turns on hers. The Goblin Queen gets kicked in the face by Captain Marvel. An explosion sends Baron Sinister flying across the battlefield. Before the devilish Baron can get to his feet, he's decapitated. Looks like Apocalypse has come to seek out an answer for the Baron's betrayal. Meanwhile, in Doomguard, Thor from Earth, 616 has spilled the beans on the so-called God Emperor Doom and his eternal lies, which has caused a sort of civil war between the Thors. There are those who would believe in the fabrications of their self-proclaimed ruler, fighting those who have seen the light. Thor 616 raises her voice and speaks up over the squabbling Thors.
Brothers, sisters, know in your hearts that my words are true. You have been deceived. God Doom is not great, he is not even good. So who will come with me and do battle?
Thor's words have stirred hearts as we see the entire Thor army descending from the castle, soaring into battle. Doom watches on from on high, knowing that he has been betrayed once more. The army of Thors was not the final twist to this battle's tale. A giant warship starts blocking out the sun above the battlefield. The Maestro has arrived, and he calls his army into action. Soon, the sky is filled with Hulks, plummeting towards the battlefield with one thought in mind. Meanwhile, back at Project 42 with Reed and the Maker.
Witness Richards, a sweet symphony, orchestrated by me to perfection. Maximus and his army have engaged the forces of Doom. With one hand, we distract them, while with the other.
Reed interrupts the Maker's self-gratifying speech.
We slip a small team, us, past them to steal the most valuable things that's left of the multiverse. Are you sure you can pilot us in there undetected, Star-Lord?
Absolutely, probably. There's a decent chance.
Then all we need is for the battle to last long enough to obscure our arrival and departure. Call me a pessimist, but I don't think the frothy mob of Maximus is going to take us the distance. Time for revelations, Reed. Unleash those secret plans of yours.
Actually, they're not my plans at all. Can you hear me, T'Challa?
Reed radios to T'Challa, who is perched on a bank in anticipation. Reed tells T'Challa that it's time and asks if he's ready. T'Challa tells Reed that he was waiting for the very last moment, because once this next stage of the plan is set in motion, there's no turning back. At the Shield, T'Challa and Namor have set up the Siege Courageous Gateway on the perimeter of the kingdom's wall. Namor is not fully aware of what Black Panther is up to, but he's just in it for the ride. T'Challa uses some explosives to blow a hole in the wall, and the zombie hordes come marching forward. T'Challa calls out to them to heed his word.
Listen to me. It is said that one who travels through a siege courageous is granted a new life, a second chance, an opportunity to be something better, something more. Come with me and we will travel through it to the greatest battle any world has ever seen. Together we will face a false god and strike him down. Do you know what they call what is waiting for you on the other side? Glory and honor.
The zombies don't appear to have caught on to Black Panther's motivational speech until Namor impales one of them with his trident. Quickly after, the Horde are chanting in unison, "Glory and honor!" The battle is well underway below as Quill attempts to sneak his jet past the castle defenses undetected, but they are spotted by a Hulk. Quill's evasive maneuvers gets rid of the angry Hulk, but at the cost of a damaged engine. The Maestro challenges Doom, saying that as soon as his army of Hulks have crushed the rebellion, he will be turning his attack on God. The Maestro's declaration of war is cut short by the Thing, as he easily destroys the Maestro's ship. Susan and Valeria look on in fear as Ben joins the fight, and Franklin steps out onto the battlefield with Galactus to meet him. Quill has crashed his ship into the castle wall. Not the landing he promised, but a landing nonetheless. Reed and the Maker set off to track the signal of Doom's power source while Quill stays behind to fix their escape vehicle. Back on the battlefield, Ben lands the first blow on Galactus. Susan screams out for fear of Franklin's life. After a verbal back and forth, Ben realizes that Franklin is Victor and Susan's son. Suddenly, Ben loses the urge to fight back.
Well, this just ain't gonna have a happy ending, is it? I know we supposed to fight some more, but I ain't gonna. Don't seem right now. Do what you gotta do, kiddo.
Franklin uses Galactus to blast Ben to nothing more than a pile of boulders. Susan watches in horror.
Oh, Franklin, what have you done?
Valeria tells her mother that there is something she needs to see. Susan is curious, but Valeria insists that her mother trusts her. Back at Quill's ship, the Swan has stumbled across the wreckage. It doesn't take long for the Swan to have Quill on his back, but lucky for Quill, he has a little friend with him.
Say hello to my little friend.
Groot sprouts forward, growing at a rapid pace until he breaks free from the castle walls. Valeria and Susan arrive at the memorial statue of Dr. Strange, where they run into Reed and the Maker.
Valeria, I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. Hello, Susan.
Back on the battlefield, Doom has come to face Thanos. Thanos calls Doom a weak pretender and an excuse for a god. Doom wastes no time turning Thanos' flesh to dust, leaving only his skeleton behind. In front of Doom, the Siege Courageous begins to emit a golden light. T'Challa leads the zombie horde out of the gateway while wielding the Infinity Gauntlet.
Your reign is over, and it ends with us.
The time has come for T'Challa to test the power of the Infinity Gauntlet against the omnipotence of God Emperor Doom.
Goodbye, Victor.
T'Challa clenches his fist and Doom cries out in anguish as he begins to turn to stone. Namor hurls his trident at Doom, shattering him to pieces. Namor pauses and then comments doubtfully.
It can't be that easy.
It won't be.
Doom quickly rebuilds himself piece by piece and launches an attack back at T'Challa.
Let us finish this, and do so as gods.
Back at Strange's memorial, Susan confronts Reed.
I remember you.
That can't be. From what I understood, you didn't know who I was. What I was. Do you really know me, Susan?
Susan says she knows his face from the hologram of the battle, and accuses Reed of killing Stephen Strange.
I had nothing to do with Stephen's death. It was Doom.
You mean God?
I mean, Victor. And however well-intentioned this world of his is, I mean to put things back the way they are supposed to be. I mean to end this charade, because this is not the life we are supposed to have. Not Val, not me, and certainly not you, Susan.
Who are you, really?
My name is Reed Richards, and I'm the one who fixes things.
Reed and the Maker descend beneath the statue. They are greeted by Molecule Man. Before Reed can make any headway with him, the Maker traps Reed in a temporal bubble that begins reversing the evolutionary process. We watch Reed agonizingly transform back into our prehistoric chimpanzee form, while the Maker explains his actions.
I suppose I could apologize for this betrayal, but I saw you almost start crying up there with that woman who isn't your wife, and I just couldn't tolerate that kind of weakness. What's the end game here? Nostalgia for something that was never yours anyway. Really, Reed, who's interested in a weepy god?
Molecule Man speaks up.
Me. Did you know that one actually can holistically enjoy pizza? And it comes in slices.
Reed has returned to his normal form, and the Molecule Man tells him that he'd better pull himself together because Doom will be arriving shortly. Back on the battlefield, Doom and T'Challa are still locked in an epic battle of power. It appears that Doom has the upper hand as he catches the Infinity Gauntlet in the palm of his hand.
And now we're done, T'Challa, and what have you gained? Nothing. Yes, you tested me, reduced me to this wanton physical violence, but I remain Doom, and you, something beneath me, a lesser, a fool who doesn't know that he's beaten, a smiling fool who, wait, why are you smiling at me, T'Challa? Why are you?
Because we were biding time, and you're going to lose.
Doom realizes that everything has been a distraction, from the Prophet's army to T'Challa's army of the undead. Doom recognizes that he has succumbed to the temptation and leaves the battlefield to seek his source of power. Doom arrives at the statue to find Valeria and Susan still waiting outside. Susan questions him immediately.
Is it true, Victor? Is all of it true?
Susan, there are complexities beyond even my ability to explain. If you will just trust me like you always have.
Like Steven trusted you?
I'm sorry, Susan, I tried.
Doom enters the trapdoor to meet Reed and Molecule Man.
Richards, you have some great plan, I expect. What is it this time, Reed? A new idea? A fresh take on the very old problem of you and I? Have you built another great machine?
No, nothing like that. I just came to convince Owen that, perhaps, there's a better solution to this than you.
A better solution? Your entire life you have been distracted with the modern concerns so precious to you and your kind. Ethics and order and society. When all that has ever mattered was survival, I saved millions, Reed. Owen saved millions. And what was it you said when you appeared here on my world? All you could save was yourself. You couldn't even save your family.
How dare you?
Doom snaps his fingers, expecting to end Reed's existence in an instant. But nothing happens. Even Reed is surprised to find his flesh still attached to his bones. Molecule Man has leveled the playing field by diminishing the extent of Doom's power, essentially relieving his power as a god. Reed strikes without hesitation, tangling Doom up in his coils, suffocating Doom like a python with its prey.
Things aren't so easy when you aren't omnipotent, are they?
You think any of this has been easy? You think power makes impossible choices more palatable?
You know what's not easy? Having your life erased because someone wants to indulge themselves. You made yourself God, and the first thing you replaced was me. You stole my family.
You think you're better than I am?
No, Victor, you're wrong. I've always believed that you could be better than what you are.
No, I mean now. This moment. If you had this power, you think you could have solved it all? Solved everything? You think you could have done so much better, don't you?
Yes, and we both know it, don't we?
Yes, damn you! Now die!
Doom tries to make his final move on Reed and kill him. Molecule Man steps in after hearing Doom's confession to Reed.
Okay then, if you both agree.
Wait, no!
An explosion of light consumes Battle World. Eight months later, the Marvel Universe, the Prime Earth. We see Molecule Man returning Peter Parker and Miles Morales back to New York City as if nothing ever happened. Somewhere in the cosmos, Susan asks Valeria.
Explain it to me again.
Valeria points out to Molecule Man.
Owen over there is the key. He's kind of a human repository of unlimited power, and that omnipotent power has to be directed, used by an individual. In this case, Dad. And that's where it really gets interesting, as Franklin is a universal shaper, a dreamer. So he has these ideas.
For worlds?
For universes, Mom. For whole universes. Then he gives them to Dad. And Dad, using all that power, spins them off into their own reality. Finally, they slice off a bit of Owen to go with it, like an anchor. But it also serves to make the Molecule Man better. Whole. Healing him.
Susan runs towards Reed and stands alongside him.
This sure is something.
Reed Richards' conversation with Franklin redefines heroism itself. It's not about titles or powers, but the everyday good we do, especially for those we love. Stepping away from Mr. Fantastic, Reed embraces fatherhood and science, realizing that the true key to life is letting go of fear. No longer trapped by the idea of universal collapse, his final act symbolizes a shift toward hope and expansion. In that moment, Reed discovers a renewed belief that everything lives. Even Dr. Doom. He sent Doom back home and even healed his face because in the end, everything deserves to live. Everything lives.